Laura? Laura?
Alright guys, it's finally October and you know what that means. That's right, it's spooky season. I started this tradition recently that I've always had in October to get my horror movie fix for the year. I made an exception for Sinners, but we'll get there later. For this year, the movie I decided to watch first again was Smile. You know, the one with the creepy smiles. This was definitely one of those horror movies that I wasn't expecting much going into it, but after watching it, I started to realize why everyone really enjoyed this film. It has such an interesting theme surrounding mental health while intertwining that with what goes on in the film. I will put a content warning since the movie does tackle some sensitive subjects, so do be advised before watching the video. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. So our story starts in a psychiatric hospital with a woman named Rose. She works there as a therapist and does the normal routine. She checks up on patients and occasionally has to stand up to her boss for trying to kick out other unwell patients so the greedy board members can make more money. You know, the usual in your average American hospital. Right when her shift was about to end and she was on her way home, she decides to help out one more patient before leaving. This patient is Laura, and she was hiding in the corner when she came in, which is a great spot to hide because we all know the best part of the room is the corner. But anyway, they both sit down and Rose asks her what is disturbing her. She talks about seeing this thing and that keeps bothering her and showing her disturbing stuff. So she also says that the thing that keeps following her says that she's going to die that day. Rose just tries to write it off as a trauma response after seeing her teacher off himself in front of her. But right when she does this, all of a sudden Laura goes flying out of her chair and starts screaming bloody murder. Rose starts freaking out, wondering why her patient just went from 0 to 100 like that. She calls for backup. Right after she does that though, she notices a disturbing thing. She's gone. And on top of that, the vase that was on the table earlier is now broken, which is quite odd. And when Rose turns all the way around, she finds Laura having this strange expression on her face. Okay, the strange expression was a smile. I mean, come on, the movie is called Smile, but look at her face for a second. It's not like the yippee, I'm having a great day smile. It looks a bit more sinister, disturbing even. I don't know why, but even after watching this movie a second time, this smile still creeps me the hell out. More than some actual horror villains. But Laura grabs a piece of the vase all while smiling and then ends it. Rose is horrified, so are her co-workers once they arrive at the scene. The police come to investigate Rose about the incident since she was the only one in the room when it happened. She explains it, and you know what the cops' super insightful reaction to this information was?
Yeah, she sounds f***ing crazy to me.
Wow, okay, the shittiest deduction award goes too. So the cops obviously were no help when it came to explaining, so they release Rose and she's able to help head back home. So she gets home to her cat, also her cat's named Mustache, and she chills out in her super dark house. Like, what is up with her house, man? Doesn't she feel uncomfortable with having almost no lighting or no TV, no music, anything in the background? When I get home, I always have something on and the lights on when I'm in the room. It's kind of strange she just chills with the complete silence. But anyway, she's drinking her wine and she sees something strange in the distance. A smiling face in the distance, if you will. Now, if that was me, the movie would have ended right there because I would have packed my stuff and been halfway across the country right now. But thankfully, her boyfriend, Trevor, or what I like to call him, the A-Train, comes in to comfort her after accidentally jumping to scare her. Oh yeah, before we continue, let me just introduce some characters since I don't feel like truly going over the scene. So this is Rose's sister, Holly, and her husband, and basically all that happens in the scene is like her sister being like, you work too hard and you need to get out of that gross hospital, yada yada yada. Basically, her sister doesn't really understand Rose's profession, and she just sees the people in the hospital as a bunch of lunatics. Damn, we really went 2 for 2 for ignorant people not understanding mental health. The point is, Holly is a bit self-absorbed, but she'll be important later. So you're back at work. I'm sorry, Rose is back at work after experiencing that? That's a really traumatic experience to go through to go back to work like that. Thankfully, her boss steps in and is like, you work way too much, you need a rest. And Rose is pulling like 80 hours a week, by the way, which is insane. So with all this time that Rose has now on her mandatory break, she decides to go back and listen to what Laura said before she offed herself. So she's sitting in her dark room again. Why are there no lights? Does Laura just hate light or something? I know it's nighttime, but still, turn the damn lights on. But anyway, she's just sitting there trying to figure out what Laura was talking about. Then in the audio recording, she hears Laura say her name. Rose being confused, she does the gamer lean to try to lock in. She's trying to figure out why she didn't hear that the first time. While she's focused in on that though, the thing yells in her ear, sending her flying across the room. Don't get me wrong, I hate jump scares, but I like this jump scare. It's a bit more out of the box compared to the classic look at the dark corner then something jumps out at you. I think it's cool how they made the viewer so invested in the audio recording too that we completely forget about the possibility of the thing being right there. It sure as hell scared the shit out of me though. Rose again completely freaked out, gets a knife to protect herself from the thing, and then Trevor comes in fast, like the A-Train, to help, and then he's like, what the hell, put the knife down, and she still holds it out of fear of what happened. Next day the birthday party comes and Rose tries to keep her composure as she gets her nephew a birthday gift. So the birthday party goes smoothly and, oh sorry, did you fall for that? No, it turns out inside of her birthday gift was a dead corpse of Mustache. Rip the goat Mustache, you were gone too soon. So everyone at the party is freaked out because this makes Rose look like some sick freak, so she quickly leaves the party after that. Her fiance is all disturbed because I get it. And in his mind, he's probably like, why the hell did my fiance gift our dead cat to a child? So he freaks out on her and says that the thing she is seeing might be connected to her mother, who also had mental health issues. Which, well, that's kind of a big Trump A-Train. Having mental health issues and giving someone a dead cat, which Rose has no recollection of, by the way, are in completely different leagues, so I don't know what he's on about. But anyway, he starts to question her getting married to her. Rose gets back to investigating, wondering why on earth she's having these scaring illusions. And this investigation leads her to the wife of the teacher that offed himself recently, which is the wife of Gabriel Munoz. So she visits the house of Gabriel Munoz and asks his wife some questions about what happened to her husband. So her husband experienced many of the same things that she experienced, and apparently it all started when one of his colleagues committed suicide in front of him. So this opens Rose's mind to the fact that whatever this is connected to the suicide of others. So Rose ends up breaking the act, and she's like, please tell me everything. Munoz's wife starts to realize something's up when it's obvious that Rose is not a reporter, and naturally she's all like,
get out! Get out! Get out! Okay, get out! Get out!
So Rose scurries out of the house and realizes that she needs to dig deeper into this connection. So she goes over to meet her ex, Joel. Now Joel is someone I glossed over because he does show up at the beginning being a desperate ex-boyfriend who tries to hit up Rose at work, and then he just leaves and we don't hear from him again till this moment. But yeah, Joel's a cool guy and he's willing to help despite it being his day off. They do some digging and her theories are confirmed when she realizes that suicide do chain together in one clean line where one person committed suicide after seeing another commit suicide before them. Joel doesn't get it quite yet, since he just thinks it's a strange coincidence for like 2 or 3 cases, but Rose immediately realizes what's going on, and then tries to tell her sister about it. So she arrives at her sister's house and tries to explain it to her, even though her sister is naturally very wary of her, since she did just traumatize her son by giving him a dead cat. But anyway, Rose thought it would be a good idea to show Holly the dead bodies to prove her point. And I don't know why Rose thought this was a good idea. You already freaked her out by showing her a dead cat. Why do you think casually having pictures of mutilated bodies as proof would help her think you're sane, at all? The situation is already unbelievable as it is. So they naturally have a falling out over that, and Rose just goes back to her car. While she's waiting though, her sister has something to say to her. Look at what she has to say.
Holly.
This thing is one sick individual. Got me thinking that Holly had something to say when it was just the thing messing with her again. So after that fiasco, she just shoves a burger down her throat, and I can't even blame her. Getting tortured by that thing 24/7 would want me to drown my sorrows out in any way possible. So Joel hits her up and he's like, dude, you're right, there is a pattern to these suicides. Out of the 20 cases, 19 of them committed suicide. Now this might sound normal at first, but then you're like, wait a minute, how did that one person happen to escape it? And this, my friends, is what Rose and Joel go to figure out. So Rose meets the prisoner in the jail cell that killed someone. And when Rose started to question him, he again experienced the same things that she experienced, and the way he was able to get rid of it was to kill someone else. And that already sounds bad, but it gets worse because you can't just silently kill someone else in the middle of nowhere, no. You need at least one witness for it to pass on to someone else. So even though this is a viable way to get out of it, it's still too insane to actually do. Killing someone is already horrible, but on top of that, you basically kill 2 people by passing it off to someone else, and then you get a guaranteed life in prison after doing that. So if you think about doing it this way, it isn't really worth it. You lose your life anyway, even if it means that you're still technically alive, and you take 2 innocent lives with you also. So Rose was like, hell nah, I'm not doing this, and she dips. So as Rose heads back home, and then while she's chilling, her therapist rings the doorbell. Her therapist checks up on her since in the beginning when she was having these delusions, she asked her to prescribe some medicine, so now she's back to do a checkup, seeing how she's doing. Rose gives a classic snarky response like, well, my sister hates me, my fiance thinks I'm insane, and I'm constantly being attacked by evil illusions, so I think I'm doing well. In the middle of their conversation though, the phone rings and she picks it up, and This is awkward because it turns out the person on the phone is, well, her therapist. Which begs the question, if her therapist is on the phone, then who the hell is talking to her right now? Turns out it's the entity messing with her again. Holy shit, this thing is evil. It totally is just messing with her the entire time. It almost like being in a horrifying prank video, but it never ends. So Rose heads out and then figures out a way to kill the monster for good. She tells Joel that she's going to her mom's old place and try to starve it from getting a new host. So she goes into the house and sits in the dark waiting for the thing to come for her. It does in the form of her dead mother, and it comes out and it's freakishly tall. It grabs Rose and chokeslams her to the ground, but she faces the thing head on and hits it with the lamp, burning it and the entire house to the ground. Easy work from Rose, and she can finally just head home. Oh wait, you thought it would be that easy? Nah, turns out when she gets back to Joel's place, she starts to realize the demon is still messing with her, and she never left the house in the first place. Joel finally arrives to the scene though to help her, but Rose, not knowing what's real and what's not anymore, runs back into the house to get away from him. But she is then quickly greeted by the entity, and this time it gets her. And when I say I was not ready to see its true form, oh boy, I was not ready to see. Now I have to say, the artist knocked it out of the park for this design. Like, holy crap, this looks scary as hell. I can't believe this monster was going to the trouble of looking like people. I believe it would have scared everyone to death just rocking them like that every time. So Rose unfortunately fails to end the cycle as the monster possesses her, and she commits suicide just in time for Joel to see that, and that's how it is. Even though this ending is darker and obviously not a happy ending, I like it a lot. I do feel like a fake out ending, if it was a real ending, would be a little corny, because that would imply that all she had to do was hit the monster with some fire and it would have died. So having her lose to it makes more sense to me, and it really adds to the horror that the thing is still alive and killing more people. If you made it this far, thanks for watching the video. I'm going to do more horror movies for this month, but don't worry, I'll sprinkle some regular movies here or there. If you want to see more of my stuff, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Till next time, goodbye.